I don't know. This one's not bad.
This one's pretty good. I feel like,
There you
is
go.
that
Yeah.
better?
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is awesome.
they look more regular. I do have a lot of things here. So, here, why don't I'm gonna stop my video for just a second so that I can get my other camera zooming into me. So just give me a second. All right. I think the people are coming. I see some people are starting to come in here. And again, if you have any questions for these two gentlemen, they're going to showcase us a great service they have going on. What's going on with my camera? Give me a second, guys.
No worries.
Oh no, did it die?
I didn't realize we were already live and rocking.
Yeah, we are rocking. There's 7 people already watching, so we're gonna be getting a little bit more info about get clear space. But meanwhile I fix my camera, guys. Why don't you give us a rundown of what is clear space? So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. But give us a rundown of like what is clear space, why did you guys create this tool, and yeah, how did it start it?
Yeah.
And so, getclearspace.com.
Yep. That's right.
Perfect. I got it here on the chat. And you guys can start talking to me while I fix my camera.
Wonderful. Yeah, I would love to. So I think a little bit of the backstory is Oliver and I are both kind of longtime digital minimalists. We both have for a long time thought about how much we use our phone and how much we use technology, and we also happen to be software engineers. And particularly in the pandemic, we both had started to construct independently our own kind of attention protection stacks, hacking together a series of different tools to make sure that we weren't losing our days in our phones. The tricky part becomes a lot of the great tools, as this stream will know well, um, are non iOS related. We're both iOS developers and iPhone users, and we found that there wasn't a ton of great tools for making sure that we didn't waste a ton of time on our phones during the day for iOS. So we ended up building the ClearSpace mobile app for iOS, which is a simple behavioral redirect that eliminates compulsive app opens on your phone. And we built that out and have had that app live for about 10 months now, and it's been able to help thousands of people significantly reduce the amount of time they waste on their phones. Um, what we're really excited about today, too, to share with the stream and talk more about is that after you did the review of our iOS app a couple months ago, we had a lot of people asking for a ClearSpace type uh, functionality in their browser and on their computer. And just last week, we rolled out the ClearSpace Chrome extension, which we think for even non-iOS users is a super helpful way to engage with apps and websites actually in the browser for Chrome.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me. Oh, darn it! I'm using this as my camera right now. Um, my camera overheated, so it is cooling down. But we'll get to that one in just a second. But let me talk about your app from my personal experience to kind of like showcase some of the
Yeah.
things that I'm really excited about. So number one, um, I think it's a very cool concept. So you guys have done a great job in creating something that adds value and saves time to people, right? It's an
Hmm.
app that essentially takes over other apps by reminding you that you don't need to spend all of this time. So recently, my team at work, they decided to use the all powerful, all amazing iMessage protocol to communicate. So that puts me in a pinch because I use mainly this kind of devices, right? So I
Yeah.
use, the light phone as my primary device, and I use other devices, secondary, cycling through them every so often, right? And they said, well, I kind of have to get an iPhone. I'm looking to actually not get an iPhone anymore, but probably get a Mac as a
Yeah.
kind of third party solution. But, in the past week and a half, as of this point, maybe 2 weeks, I've been using an iPhone. And the reality is that a lot of people need a smartphone or they need to use it for work or for whatever it is. And they may not be able to have the flexibility to use a very basic phone all the time. So
Totally.
for these people that get the iPhone, it's a distracting tool. It doesn't matter how much you minimize it, you usually end up using all of the features, the browser, things of that nature. And what you guys have done is essentially you have an app, right, that intercepts. I don't know if you can showcase it, maybe mirroring it, since I can't. But yeah, so there you have your phone, and let's say you want to open Instagram. So open Instagram, it opens for a second, and then it gives you this.
Oh, I think Jose might have cut out. Are we still live, you think, Ollie?
I think we might still be live here.
Oh, we can finish the
Chat,
demo. We can finish the demo for the chat.
yeah,
Yeah, the
chat.
clear
Can you let
space
us know
green
if
screen.
are we still live here, chat? Okay, I'm gonna
Do you have
assume that we
access
are.
to the chat? Yeah.
So I don't have access to chat, but we can read their messages. So assuming that we are here, chat, what you just saw is the ClearSpace app actually intercepted the app open of Instagram. It makes me wait 15 seconds. It shows me a quote related to my intentions, which are to be present throughout my day. And then it gives me the option to either be present, or the non-default is continue to Instagram. So that's a little view of the ClearSpace iPhone app. I will say, speaking as a user, not as a founder here, like this is the thing that has actually worked for me. I need to keep Instagram on my phone. I need to keep LinkedIn on my phone to handle incoming messages related to work, and those are dangerous apps to keep on your phone, for lack of a better word, because your brain quickly figures out that the scroll feature is always there, and we're able to get in between that and sort of rewire your brain to figure out that, okay, if we're going to scroll, we need to wait this 15 seconds first. We need to make an intentional decision, and we need to look at how many times the app's been open today versus how many times we were trying to open it. So that's the iPhone app.
Yeah.
Jose,
And I think I think yeah, I think we've officially taken over the live stream. I don't know where Jose went, Oliver, but I think we're doing this thing live. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We got dropped for a second.
We were rolling.
Yeah. Hey, that happens. It is what it is. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. So why don't you showcase it again as I explained it, and hopefully this time it will not cut. I think what happened, sorry guys, I think what happened is that my VPN came back on, and then how there's that moment where you have a VPN disconnect and then it comes back on and off. So I think my connection just went off for a second. Anyways, okay,
Jose, we ultimately got to walk them through kind of the app
perfect.
in your absence, but yeah, I mean, to pick up where you left off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, okay, so the reason why I found it super useful is because, okay, so I have one app that I have to keep in the background. So I was talking with them, maybe last week we were chatting, right?
Mm-hmm.
About this one app. So I have one app, it's a corporate app that I need to have in the background. And essentially, this app that is in the background just needs to be installed in my phone, and it pings and it relays some information, right? But I have to check it every so often. I have to check it maybe once every 10 days to re-authenticate or whatever. And I don't mind checking it. It's a very non-distracting app for me. But I know that there are other apps like Instagram. There's apps like Slack, things of that nature that you may not need to have all the time on your phone, or you may not need to check them all the time. And I think that this system of intercepting really works. I have put it on my Brave browser. So I have a browser on this phone because, I have to relay information sometimes. And I have put it in there, and I have allowed me to use it twice a day. So I only use it twice a day. If I really need to use it, it really needs to kind of work in this way. And I have found it to reduce my usage. So sometimes I may find myself oh, hey, let me look something up, or maybe somebody sends me a link, and when I open it on my browser, it automatically intercepts. And I think it's lovely because I don't have to, essentially I don't have to give in, but I just remember, oh, hey, this is not important. I'll just look it up later on my computer or save it to whatever. So I think that that's a very useful feature. Now, we have a question, so we'll get to that. and Royce, Oliver, whichever one you want to take it. So the question is, can you still get notifications? So Positive Vibes tells us, can you still get notifications on all of these things, apps, or that you have?
Positive Vibes, Veta, the answer is it's up to you. We aren't getting between your notifications and you. So if you want to turn them on in settings, you can do that. If you want to turn them off in settings, you can do that. It's completely your choice. We're just getting between you and the app open because we find that's where like the compulsive behavior occurs, and we're able to really make people make an intentional decision in that moment. But notifications are up to you.
And I think that that's actually, pretty good because it allows you to kind of use notifications if you want to or if you need to, whereas it's not forcing you. And so let me get this right. So whenever you get a notification, let's say that people activate their notifications, um, uh, would, if I click it on the lock screen, would it automatically redirect me to ClearSpace as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's super useful, right? Like, let's say you keep notifications because you need messages or something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, like you open it and it reminds you, hey, stop wasting time. And I think that that reminder is very powerful. I mean, at least for me, it's very powerful because it reminds you that, hey, you don't need to use this all the time. You need, and it has the breathing screen, right? Like, I think that's my favorite part of the app.
Yeah.
That you guys have that circle, and I'm like, sometimes it's frustrating, not gonna lie. Sometimes I open it and I'm like, oh, I forget that I don't need to be spending time. But it's a good reminder because it reminds me, like, hey, I budgeted a certain amount of times to use this app, and I'm going to stick to my goals, right? Why don't you showcase that, Oliver or Royce, whichever wants to showcase a little bit more of that goals idea. So yeah, let's go over that on the app. What are some of the extra functionalities that you're using?
Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing again here and open the Instagram app. And we're going to see that it's going to guide me through the breath in the same way. And it'll now show I've tried to open this app 3 times today. My goal here is less than 2. And so if I was to continue through to the app, the next time I would see the goal setting, it would say, okay, you've opened it 1 today out of your goal of 2. So it's always keeping me accountable that way. We can always go into the ClearSpace settings and adjust our goals. But this is like the mechanism that is always being used to keep us on track when we open an app between us and the actual app open.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning too that your goal, your budgeted uses for a day is not a restrictive. You're not going to be shut out of the app that you need to get to. If you need to go to Instagram 3 times that day, ClearSpace isn't here to completely lock it down. One of our core tenets is what we really want to try to do is give you tools for your best self to influence your current self when making those critical decisions that end up kind of defining your day. We all know one app open can lead you to doom scrolling for 3 hours. We want to allow the you that's at the beginning of the week that's motivated to accomplish your goals or spend quality time with your family to set like a goal around, okay, YouTube, I could probably go on there once or twice a day and be really happy. But anything more than that, I'd like to nudge myself back into the correct behavior. And that's what we see the budgeting gamification as is a lever for you to at your best to influence you at your most susceptible.
Jose,
Yes, go ahead, Oliver.
Can I respond to Kevin's question real quick here?
Yes, for sure. Let me put it on the screen so everybody can see it. So it says, has there been any data gathered on how users typically respond to ClearSpace app open interception? How many times they don't end up using the app? So let me put that in the show notes. So this is a new thing. Go ahead.
Okay, Kevin, I'm super glad you asked about this. I call this the get out of bed in the morning stat. This is like the thing that really keeps me motivated and excited about working on ClearSpace. So we've logged about almost 1 million intercepts now. Almost 1 million times people have tried to open an app and ClearSpace has intercepted it, and then they've had the decision about whether to continue or not. About 72% of the time, people have not continued through to the app they opened, which I find amazing. And when you first get this on your phone, it becomes clear to you just how often you compulsively click an app without thinking about it. And slowly your brain gets retrained to like be really intentional about these opens. But at first, and this is where the majority of our data comes from, people really are clicking these things compulsively. So yeah, it's about 72% of the time people opt to not continue through to the app.
All right. All right. Yes. And that's actually a good metric. I actually had not asked you that question. That's a very insightful question, because if 72%, I mean, 72% is a lot. Um, of that's a high percentage, it's like, it's not 50-50, it's like almost 75. Like that's pretty good. Now I know you guys are trying to move into not only the phone space, right? Because your distractions do not only live in your phone, and right now it's iOS only, correct?
That's right.
Correct. So iOS is the main part, and then you have, maybe hopefully in the future, Android, right, where you can have way more blockers than iOS allows. But you also have the Chrome version. So I think you sent me the Chrome version about 2 weeks ago, I think a week and a half or so, maybe a little bit earlier. And I tried it out, and essentially what it does is it just kills the app completely. It just showcases something completely different, right? So if I activate it on Twitter or on LinkedIn or on Reddit, it will just show like a blank space theme or something like that, right? Correct?
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, the one key thing is that we actually block out the distracting parts of the app while letting you still use the rest of them. So the YouTube discovery feed is one example. We completely block it out. If you want to be in clear space mode, you can still search for your favorite Jose Briones videos and watch those videos without recommendations on the side. But the actual feed itself, where we find users get the most distracted, we ourselves get the most distracted, is the actual recommendation videos. But oftentimes we just need to go to YouTube to get some interesting content real quick, or tune in for a Jose Briones live stream without wanting to now go down the rabbit hole.
Right. Okay. So I know it blocks, so it doesn't block my subscriptions, correct? So it only blocks like one side, I guess, the algorithm, I guess. The algorithm is blocked. But then if I want to search for something specific, which I have an intention, right? That's the idea, then that allows you to still use it. What about the other ones like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn? What does it block? What does it not get blocked?
Totally.
Jose, I can screen share if it's helpful.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So it says on my screen I'm screen sharing at the moment. Do I need to do anything more?
I don't know. I think this is the first time that we'll try to do this. Let me see if I get. Oh, I see it. Boom.
Okay, amazing.
Inception. Let's go.
Okay, so maybe let me start with the experience on YouTube. And again, I'm coming from a place of, I'm a developer. So like one thing I use YouTube for all the time is looking up coding tutorials. And so that's the part that I wanted to keep. And we wanted to have the ability to do something intentional on these websites that really are equal part tools and distraction. So we want to keep the tool and throw away the distraction. So here's what YouTube looks like. If I come here for a developer video, I'm not going to immediately be bombarded by all my recommendations. And here's what YouTube looks like, of course, normally. It's like a much more chaotic, loud view. But with ClearSpace on, we come here, we can remember what our intention is. And let's say I want to search for a Jose Briones video. I'll still be able to see all these search results. And I can click into something. But what I won't get on the sidebar is all the suggestions that would normally pull me into YouTube saying, hey, do you want to watch this golf video? Do you want to see sports highlights from last night? So I can just come here and do what I came to do. And that's kind of the, I guess, methodology that we applied to all of the websites that the ClearSpace Chrome extension supports at the moment. So same deal with LinkedIn. Typically, when I come to LinkedIn, I'm either responding to a message or I'm searching for someone in particular. And all of that behavior is still fully supported. I can search for people, I can connect with people, but what won't happen is I won't get sucked into random posts from things that I didn't really come there to do. Same deal with Twitter. We block the feed, we block the algorithm. You've still got your messages, you've still got your notifications, you've still got your bookmarks. And same deal with Facebook and Reddit as well. If you were to search for a specific, if you were to go to a specific link on Reddit, like let's say how to sort, an array site, reddit.com. So if I'm, if I'm trying to do something specific on Reddit, like click a link, that will work. And the Chrome extension will allow me to get through and see the specific thing that I came here to do. I'll grab this code snippet, I'm good to go. But if I'm just going to Reddit in general, what the Chrome extension won't let me do is get distracted by my feed. And the same is true for Facebook as well. You can search for specific people. You can, might have my Facebook one turned off right now, but it won't let you get distracted. So that's really the methodology and our thinking around this.
Yes, perfect. And now let's go out of inception mode. And my camera is back, so it did their overheating thing. Let me fix just something real quick. A little bit more, maybe. No, that's too much. That's pretty good. Okay, so so very useful. I mean, I've used this one too, and I found it useful. And let me ask you a couple questions though, because a lot of people are going to be looking into this and going to be thinking like, well, you know, this is helpful. This helps me. It gives me some value, right? It allows me to look into a lot of different things. How can I use it cross-platform? Is there any syncing that you guys are planning to kind of like have Instagram.com be the website, also have allotted times in between the two? Is that something that's down the pipeline?
Yeah, I want to make sure I understand the question correct. You're saying if Instagram.com with ClearSpace versus not with ClearSpace, is that the question?
No, so if I put a budget on my phone, can that sync to my browser as well, so that I get the intercept? So right now you guys only have blocking, but I would assume that the intercept would allow you to be used maybe in the browser as well, kind of like a reminder or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I might have said it before, but the number one thing that we started hearing from the first days that we released the iPhone app was, I want the same experience in the browser. And we're really trying to build after that. It's also why we're super excited. And I want to just like do another call out on this live stream. We want to hear from you guys. Jose, your community and the dumb phone community that has come to ClearSpace have been super impactful in feedback. And right now what we're doing is we're gathering feedback and building the solutions that people want and need based on that feedback. And so, yes, right now we're definitely building on a trajectory towards using the same type of goals that are on your phone and transitioning those over to the browser so that you have a really unified intentionality experience across all your different devices, for sure. I think you're on mute.
Jose, you're muted at the moment.
Sorry. Yeah, I've been having a lot of issues with the camera overheating and everything, but
you're navigating it well.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm kind of excited about that because I think it provides a lot of like, you know, benefits to different users. I think it creates because if you can sync something with your phone and have it on your other devices, I think that also, you know, if it's cross compatible, a lot of people have this cross compatibility nowadays with the different devices. So I think that's definitely useful. Okay, so let me put some other questions. Maybe let's see. Okay, so we have a couple questions, and let's continue with these. I'm gonna put this at 24 on the 24 on the questions and answers 1. So we have a question from Pavan, which he says, or she says, don't know. Let us know in the comments. Any plans for an iPad OS app in the future? Because more students now are using iPads for online education.
Yeah, it's a great question. Definitely on the roadmap. We want ClearSpace to be a part of your journey on any device you use frequently. That's an awesome call out too. Always helpful to get that feedback. But yeah, definitely for iPad OS.
Awesome, perfect. We have some people, you know, kind of sharing. Love this. I always wanted to keep the content interested, but hate their YouTube recommendations. So maybe helpful to a lot of people. Light phone user here, Kevin. and he's loved the Chrome extension and works on his devices as well. So some people are already installing it. Question from Michael: is Android coming?
I will say we aren't sharing too much about our roadmap at the moment, but we have a ton of feature requests coming in, and hearing that people want Android helps us prioritize those things. So don't want to say too much more than that, but we're certainly working that out in real time. So appreciate the extra data point there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I mean, you're getting feedback from people right here, people that are interested in the product. And of course, many other people are going to watch it later that couldn't watch it, at this time. So for sure. We do have one more question, and then we'll get maybe to a little bit of like maybe not only backstory for you guys, but what have you guys hear from the users, and some testimonials that you may have, kind of like to share. But the question is, any plan to support Safari? So right now it's Chrome based, right? So Edge, Chrome, Firefox. Are you guys on Firefox?
Just Chrome.
Just Chrome.
Just
So
Chrome.
Anything Chrome based, like Microsoft Edge, or Chrome or Chromium, or all of the different ones that are based out of all of that. Yeah. So any plans for future, maybe Firefox or Safari, other browsers?
Yeah, certainly.
That one,
I think the same. Yeah.
I think we
Oliver.
can pretty confidently say yes to that one. As well as Chai Latte, to your other question about creating intentions in the browser, that's coming soon. We want to have a really unified experience across the iPhone app and the browser, and be able to track you and report back to you how you're doing, give you encouragements in both places. So that's like right next in the pipeline.
That's awesome to hear. That's actually really good. I think it's going to help a lot of people, because that unified experience also makes it just better for everybody to just have. Now, let me talk a little bit more about like what you guys have seen, or some of testimonials, things that people have said in the past, and also showcase maybe. So you guys have two different tiers, right? So you have a free tier, and then you have a premium tier. So help us understand a little bit more about that. How does that work? What's the pricing? And I know that you guys have a special offer, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But tell us, just from a regular user standpoint, you've never watched the Jose Briones live stream, you're not going to get the special offer. What would people be looking at?
So the right now we have free tiers on both the Chrome extension and the ClearSpace app. We think it's super valuable for people to be able to understand the impact and difference it can make in their lives. And for the iPhone app, you can use it indefinitely with a single app for free. Once you upgrade your experience to wanting to use multiple apps and engage more deeply with some additional custom features that we're releasing on a weekly basis, that's when we upgrade to a pro subscription. And a pro subscription also for the Chrome extension gives you a subscription across platform. Right now, the Chrome extension, we have out the box a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out right away. And then beyond that, it's the same pro subscription for ClearSpace across platform.
So if I hear you correctly, if I buy the iOS subscription, then I also get the Chrome at the same time. So you get both products, cross platform, no issues. I don't need to pay extra. So $3.99, you said?
That's right.
So $3.99 for both, and I get all of the intercepts. And well, the intercepts are free, correct? Like, I mean, that is essentially free. The premium features are essentially what's going to come down the roadmap, supporting the company. Of course, you guys need to eat, right?
Last I checked.
Yeah, last you checked. Yeah, I mean, I did see a Mr. Beast video, and he went like 14 days without eating. So I think.
Oh, that's right. Shoot.
Yeah,
Jose, how did you see that? If you had recommendations turned off.
Well, I'm actually, I'm subscribed to him. Like, I just like watching his crazy videos from time to time. And I saw that one, and I was like, man, that's a lot of days without eating. This man is crazy.
It is. We have it as a caveat for ClearSpace. We block all videos except Jose Briones and Mr. Beast. Those get to come through because that's just quality. That's just quality content there.
Quality content, right? No, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I mean, it's good that you're adding definitely for both. Sometimes when I subscribe to very little apps.
Yeah.
The only one that I think I have is my VPN, right? And something else I don't remember right now, but I have my VPN, and I do like that my VPN allows me to have cross-platform, so I can use it on my browser on this machine. I can use it on my browser at the office, on my machine at the office, and I can use it on a phone or whatever it is I'm installing. So I do appreciate that attention to detail. That it's like, hey, I'm not charging you here and charging you there and everywhere. So,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I think
go ahead.
I think that's an interesting time to tee up exactly what we had talked about. Kind of the last week we were chatting, and you had spoken about how you personally and your audience love one-time lifetime subscriptions,
Yep.
and you'd kind of surfaced that to us, and we're like, huh, hadn't thought about that yet. We're just building features, trying to get as much value into the hands of users as possible. But we got down to business and hacked together quickly a landing page, jose.getclearspace.com, a limited time offer for the Jose Briones live stream family. We said, you know what, we have not gone through figuring out what a lifetime subscription could or should look like, but this is such a cool community that we feel such a resonant frequency with, that we said, let's go ahead and let's roll out a lifetime premium subscription for a limited time with this community. Jose.getclearspace.com.
Yep.
You can check it out. That's we got it together, and just to explain that process a little bit, we figured a setup call, high touch onboarding. We'd like to work with you in getting your Chrome extension, iPhone app set up and rolling if you're part of this community. Hear from you, hear about your experience with this, and give you a lifetime subscription to all the tools we're going to be building. And that will be available for just a limited time after this stream. And yeah, we're really excited to hear feedback on how that impacts people.
Yeah, absolutely. So I put the link in the chat, everyone. So it is jose.getclearspace.com, and I'm going to put it here. Maybe somebody watches it a little bit later, and they're like, "Oh, maybe it's still available. Lifetime offer." Yep, I put it right there so that people can find it. Now at 30, probably about 30 minutes in. So, a good offer, I think. I mean, definitely that's like a year, 2 years, essentially, and I think it's a good offer. I mean, honestly, I like it. I'm about to get it myself, so let me go. Stripe, right? Uh, because I found value, and I mean, I'm showcasing you guys. Definitely, you guys
Yeah.
have some time to talk to the community here, but also not only that, I think you guys have the idea behind this product is good. It does a lot of things, and you guys are building cross-platform, which is not the same. Cannot be said for your quote unquote competitors, right? Like your competitors are essentially one platform, and they're not delivering the same amount of features or vision that you guys have. Which also I think that helps a lot, that you guys are looking for the future. We have a couple of extra questions before we start getting into the next part. um, any plans to add more sites or support creating custom URLs? All right.
Oliver, if you want to speak to that.
Sure. I think that the biggest thing that we need to build next is the breathe screen on the Chrome extension. So this would basically give you the ability to take a moment of intentionality before whatever site you find yourself like compulsively opening. For me, I get distracted by chess. I play like bullet games of chess during the workday, and like it's to the point where I'll just press Command T and my fingers will start typing chess.com. So like our solution there is going to be, we want to have the breathe screen, make you take your 15 seconds, take your breath, and realign yourself with what your goals are before you can go to whatever website you want to track. So that I think would be like our solution for custom URLs and custom scripting, is like whichever site you have a problem with, we'll let you put the breathe screen between you and that, and then you have the cross-platform experience of tracking that particular behavior.
I like that. I like that you have the kind of like new tab. I do have a extension that I paired with you guys with yours that is called Mono tab, and
Mm,
that one kind of like blocks me from adding any tabs when it's enabled, but I had to
nice.
enable it. So that's one of the things that I don't like about that specific one. So I mean,
Right.
just yeah, it's like I had to enable it because if when I disable it, it allows me to add as many tabs as I want, and when I enable it, it doesn't allow to. So I feel like your hey intercept method is kind of like it's better in a sense because it's it's something in between, right? Like so I'm still able to open the tab, but I am reminded that I don't need this tab,
Yeah.
and then I close it. Like, so it's better because the other one is frustrating sometimes because I'm like, okay, I really need an extra tab right now, guys. Like, it doesn't have like intervals. So I like this intermediary step a little bit better. And that's why, I personally use the system that you guys have for the apps for the iPhone and stuff like that. So,
Totally.
yeah.
It's a great point too. Like our default behaviors right now are often to act on the impulse to search some other Google thing or look up a video. But we're just trying to provide really gentle tools that give
Mhm.
you an opportunity to reconsider that fleeting thought and examine whether or not it's actually what you want to be doing.
Yeah,
Just that quick check. And for that to be the default, we found to be just hugely powerful.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I love
Um,
I love that we have some chess players in your chat, Jose. You might need to host a tournament at some point.
Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, I don't mind it. I
Jose
do play
playing
chess a lot. I do play chess a lot too, so I can resonate. I am a lead chess person though, not chess.com, just because I just don't like the ads, but that's just me.
I actually am. I'm lead, not to drag us too far down this rabbit hole, but I am also a lead chess man. I was simply using chess.com because I figured that it would be more illustrative. But for anyone that wants a quick bullet game, my username is Anteloper. Hit me up on lead chess.
Put it in the chat. Make sure to put it in
Quick
the chat.
plug.
Just like a quick yeah, just put it in the private one and I'll put it there because yeah, they're like, how do you spell it? Like, but yes. There it is. You put it here. I'll put it in there. Yes. Anteloper. Yeah, right there. There you go. So if you want to play Oliver in chess, bullet chess, there you go. And coming. All right, that's good. That's good. Creating some community out here. Um, that's awesome. Yeah, chess tournament may not be. Meanwhile, we talk about dumb phones. Just play chess. Create like a little draw. That'll be kind of cool. Um, all right, guys, we have a couple of minutes left. Tell me a little bit more about the vision for the future. Like, what are you guys hoping to build? How can people get in touch with you to get more feedback? To kind of like create a better experience, things like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Vision for the future is big. We want to be helping push this new category that Jose. I mean, you're doing great work in this space. We know a lot of awesome companies that are building focus tools, building single use tech tools, the dumb phone space, everything. We think this is like we feel a generational responsibility to move the needle forward through no through just discovery the last 20 years of the internet and smartphones. We all know that there's a lot of progress to be made with regard to how overstimulated we are. Oliver and I both feel deeply just like really excited about the opportunity to build tools that will push this category forward and migrate our relationships with our devices to a healthier place. So that's the really broad kind of that's our heart behind it. And more specifically, we're going to keep building high tech solutions to this high tech problem. We think that low tech solutions often get the job done, but we're software engineers and we love to build Chrome extensions and apps and interfaces that can help people define their relationship more accurately and then live
Mhm.
into that reality. So we're going to keep building along with that mission and we'll keep you up to date as we do. Royce at Get Clearspace, Oliver at Get Clearspace, support at getclearspace.com. Feel free to reach out. Again, we value this community so much. The feedback that we've already gotten from people has been super helpful and instructive. And we just invite any ideas, and any feedback along the journey. And we look forward to a long relationship and staying in touch as well as we develop.
Oh yeah,
Oliver,
absolutely.
anything to
Yeah,
add on there?
absolutely.
I,
Oliver, go
I
ahead.
I love the way you frame that, Royce. Like, this is something we talk about all the time, that this is a high tech problem. It needs low tech solutions, but it also needs high tech solutions.
Mhm.
And like, just to hammer this home, like, the state of the internet right now is so unbelievably distracting. It's so unbelievably overstimulating, and it's bad for us as people. And when you look at the tool landscape right now, you have things like Apple Screen Time, and I mean, they're taking such a broad view of this, and they're saying like all screen time is bad. Well, it's really not the case that if I'm using my phone to navigate through a city, like, that's not the same as me scrolling Instagram. And so, like, one reason that we want to be in there with actual high tech and thoughtful precision tools that we can develop is, like, we want to break down your screen time as to, like, what are the good nutrients that you actually need in your day? What's the junk food? Like, these things are different. And so that's kind of our long-term vision, is like, how can we help you lead a really balanced digital life that is supported by state-of-the-art technology that's fighting back against what we see as a current and broken state of the internet. We're in the awkward teenage years of computing. We're not going to be there forever. We're going to graduate to a much more mature, like, balanced system. And yeah, as Roy said, we feel a generational, like, call to help make that transition. So that's where we want to be.
Absolutely. So help me understand, if people sign up for this. So we got a lifetime offer, guys. You know, you decide if it adds value to you and all of that stuff. But I pay. What happens afterwards? How do I get onboarded, since this is not the regular subscription base, right? Like, you know, that you guys have.
Yeah, you have to bear with us a little bit, but you'll get a follow-up email shortly after signing up for Lifetime Premium, and Oliver and I will be on a call with you to kind of get you onboarded onto the platform. And that's our way of um, also sharing just any expert tips that we can and helping you customize ClearSpace and that experience. And it also gives you a touch point. Like, we want to be hands-on and helpful in any way we can. And so that will be kind of the entry point for this. Like we said, you can Jose, you came up with the lifetime premium deal. You pitched it to us. We're like, that's an awesome idea. Let's pilot it with this community. And so that's what you can expect as you go through signing up for that. We will follow up shortly thereafter with an email, and then we'll get the process rolling, and you'll have unfettered access to all of the tools that we have.
Right. No, then that makes sense. Absolutely. It makes sense. I'll put the link again, just so people can find it. Um, and yeah, I think that's good. You get to hear some feedback. You get to hear some use cases, and also on board, in this new space, different space, of course. Like, um,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say you should have made it 69, but we'll leave that for later. No, it's funny. It's just funny. I saw 68 and I was like, nice, almost nice, um, um, but I'm really excited about this, guys. I think you guys are going to continue growing, and I don't think this is going to be the last live stream that we'll have. Hopefully, once you guys start releasing more of that roadmap, we'll get to see a little bit more of, like, hey, this is the new stuff that has been released. Check-ins. I always like to do check-ins. I do it with different companies that have the consumer in mind. That's what I care about, guys. As you know, on all of my live streams, I always talk about how can we make this better for the consumer, and I always support companies that have the consumer in mind. And I just had a live stream before this on Nokia, and I was, I'm disappointed, right? With some of the things that they're doing. I wish that they listen more to what consumers are wanting or needing, and but I'm always glad to partner with companies that have consumers and listen to feedback, and that are looking to make life better, so improve quality of life. So really exciting, guys. I'll give you a final word, so whatever you guys want to say, this is your time. Oliver, Royce, let us know what we can leave with here, and again, maybe a rehash of where you can find the apps and stuff like that. I maybe put a link to the App Store.
Certainly. Yeah. I'll do one more reminder, although I know you're going to have it in the description. Jose.getclearspace.com. I think we'll probably leave that lifetime premium subscription open for the next day or two, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if it's working, then perhaps longer. But I think kind of a limited time thing that we want to offer this community. And yeah, the final words is like, thank you so much, Jose, for what you do, and we're super excited to continue being building kind of alongside of you this new wave of tools and technologies and thought processes around how we engage intentionally with technology. And yeah, once again, dumb phone community, any feedback you guys have, yeah, let us know. We're excited to hear, and that's defining our roadmap.
Awesome. Awesome. Oliver, you have anything to share?
Just that, Kevin, I'm gonna print that comment out and frame it, put it above my bedside. Awesome chatting with you guys. Appreciate the community.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you as always. Thanks for supporting. Without you guys, companies wouldn't be anything, or even my YouTube channel, right? we wouldn't have anything or much to share, but we really appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you find value in this. Hopefully it helps you think differently about, maybe you have a smart device that you need to use for work, but how can you limit it even more? Remind you of the things that you need to do, and the Chrome extension as well to, block some of those things that are not good. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, probably in the next couple of days, as I review some of these devices. This one I think is pretty cool, but all right, see you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.